Hi, it's Celyn and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be trying something called blackboard paint. You may have heard of this before. Some people like paint it on their walls and then they can use like their wall as a blackboard. There's like an example on the side and they've like used it for a menu board and people use chalk to draw on it. It is really cool. So I've never used this before. I don't know how well it's gonna work. All of my attempts today might be a fail, but I hope they work. On the front it says you can use it on wood and metal, but I think I'm gonna try it on some other materials. I just have a bunch of random objects in my art drawer here that need painting and I thought I would give it a go. So I'm basically just gonna be turning random items from my drawer into chalkboards and then we're going to use chalk on them and see if they work. So let's just get started. Okay, so here is the blackboard paint up close. As I mentioned, and as you can see, you're supposed to use it on wood and metal, but I am going to try and experiment using it on glass and acrylic too, so we will see how that goes. But anyway, before we can begin, I'm going to need to open this tin and it has like these two claspy things on it that I've never seen before. I'm assuming this is because I had it delivered and they just didn't want the paint leaking in the parcel. Anyway, these were a nightmare to get off, but I managed to do it. So yay me. I had to do it twice though and it was fine. Once I got those off, I had to open the lid. I feel like I'm explaining this like it's a tutorial, but I'm just going through the motions. Oh, and then I decided to pick up the can to show you and I spilled the paint. So give me a sec. I'm just going to clean that up and I'll be back. Hello, it's me again. I've cleaned my station. So let's get started painting our first object. As you can see, I have a glass bottle that says love on it. I bought this in Tesco when I was a student. I wanted it just to decorate my room and make it all cutesy and stuff, and it's not great. So I've been wanting to paint it for a while. So here I am just painting it with the black paint. Initial thoughts, this paint is quite thin, but I decided to just keep going, see how it went. I considered like painting a base coat, but I actually read on the tin that you should like remove any base coats that you're painting on, if that makes sense. So I just kept going, I kept painting. I ended up doing around 2 coats in total and it ended up working out really well. This paint actually dries really satisfyingly. It is like the nicest thing to watch. Anyway, eventually after 2 thorough coats of paint, I was done and it looks really good. I actually could leave it like this and I'd be very happy with it. I think it's an improvement already. It looks really cool. All I need to do now is start adding the chalk and seeing if it works, seeing if we can rub it away. So I grabbed my chalk markers and I just basically got straight to work on a design. I kind of just made this up as I went along, but I used to use this jar for flowers, so I thought I'd keep with that theme and I'd make this a flower-like bottle. I thought it would be really cute to like label this as the flower that's currently in the jar, so if this is customizable, I'd be able to wipe it away and then put the new flower that's in the jar at the time. So I just stuck with a white pen and I started adding little daisies and I labeled the jar daisies for the meantime, as if there's gonna be daisies in there, and I just did these little white flowers and then I added little yellow centers to the flowers once I was done. As you can see, I'm not spending too much time on this because it's just chalk and you can just wipe away chalk and do another design, or you can fix it up later, so I'm just kind of freehanding it and just having fun. But as you can see, I'm using a yellow chalk pen to just add the centers to the flowers as I mentioned here, which didn't take too long, and eventually my little flower bottle jar was complete. So at this point I grabbed a cloth because I really wanted to see if I could wipe away the chalk without like picking up any of the black paint, but immediately there was residue on my cloth. But I really wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, so I tried it on another section, but I ended up literally picking up the black paint this time, so it didn't end up working. I suppose you could say I should have seen this coming because it didn't say on the can that I could use it on glass, but I really wanted to see if it would work, and even though it didn't, I had fun trying, and now let's try it on the next item. So the next item I'm going to be painting is this frame, but I'm actually not going to be painting the border as you might think I am. I'm actually going to be trying to paint the center, which is going to be a similar experience to the glass bottle, I think, but it's hard to tell. Unlike the glass bottle, the clear center bit isn't actually made of glass, it's made of acrylic sheet, which is like a type of plastic, so it might work better, but I'm not sure. I decided to paint the center of this because I thought it would be perfect to like hang up on the wall and then you could write on it like a to-do list or a shopping list or something like that. Anyway, I pretty much got straight to painting like before. I grabbed the same black paint and same paintbrush and I just started by painting one thin layer, and then once that was dried I moved on to paint the second layer. I totally know I'm making some of you guys cringe right now because I'm painting on top of the protective sheet that's over the acrylic sheet, but I thought it wouldn't make much difference anyway since I'm painting it. I also thought the protective layer might help with how well the paint sticks to it because underneath the protective layer the acrylic sheet is super shiny, so I thought the paint wouldn't stick to that very well, so I decided to just paint on top. Anyway, once I was completely done painting 2 or 3 coats on top of my acrylic sheet, I put it back back into the frame and I added the back, and then it was done. And oh my gosh, I actually really like this. I think it looks really cute. It looks like a little menu or something. As before, I grabbed my chalk pens and I started drawing on this little thing. I decided to go with a to-do list because that was kind of like my original idea for this painting. I didn't go too crazy in terms of the design. I decided to keep it super simple since it is a bit of an experiment and it is just chalk, so I could just wipe it away and try again later. But I did decide to add some strawberries to give it a bit of pizzazz. And eventually it was done! Yay! I think it's so cute. I literally love how this looks so much. It's super simple, but I really like the result. I don't actually know if this works as a chalkboard or not yet because I didn't end up filming the footage until later in the video, so you're gonna have to stay tuned until after my third project, but that won't be long, so stay with me, I'm sorry. Anyway, until then, let's work on our third random item, which are these wood slices. I bought these ages ago and they have a little hole that you can like thread string through and you can use them as an ornament, so I thought these would be really cute if they are customizable. Since these are so small, I decided to do 3 of these in total because they're super simple and small to paint, so let's get started. So once again, I grabbed my black paint, but I actually used a smaller paintbrush this time because I was working on a smaller surface and I basically just painted the black paint all over this wood slice. I did decide to leave a bit of the edge exposed because I thought that would just look a little bit better. I'm not really sure why, but I ended up deciding to go all the way to the edge on the second one and I hated it. I hated it so much. It wasn't actually intentional. I ended up going over the edge a bit too far and I had to keep going and it looks horrible. So I ended up scrapping this one. It ended up being a fail. As I was painting these ones, I was having so much fun and I was loving how they were looking. On the third one, I decided to do a little heart, which looked so cute. As before, once I was done painting with the black, I grabbed my chalk pens and I started adding designs to my little wood slices. I experimented with a few and I didn't include them all in the video because I tried a few things and I didn't like them. But if you can't tell already, I decided to paint a little snowman using my white chalk marker here because I thought this kind of reminded me of like a Christmas ornament and it would be so cute if you had an ornament that you could take off and customize. But once I was done with the white, I added a little nose and I also added some black details and I filled in the buttons a little bit more with the black chalk marker and eventually was pretty much done. I went ahead and added a string to it so that it would actually work as an ornament and it looks so cute. I'm so happy with how it turned out. And now it's time to find out if it actually works as a chalkboard. So I went ahead and started wiping at my little frame, which I did earlier, and this one didn't end up working. I ended up taking the paint away once again, which I think we knew was gonna happen. I then tried wiping away my snowman and this one worked a lot better, but once again I was still getting residue. I was getting that black paint on my cloth, so I kind of don't know if these worked. They kind of did, they kind of didn't. I think they all looked really cute and it was a fun experiment, but overall I think it was a little bit of a fail. And here are the final projects. That was kind of a fail. I mean, it kind of worked. I mean, the blackboard paint looks really cool. If you're wanting to paint stuff matte black, it looks awesome. I don't think it really works on glass. It didn't say that it works on glass, but I think I've come to a conclusion that it doesn't really work on glass. I think if you were gonna just use it once and then just paint on top of it, it would work. But then when I tried rubbing it away on this, for example, it just took the paint right off the glass. I really wanted this to work. I feel like I need to try it on more materials because it kind of did work on the wood, but then I found that I couldn't wipe the chalk away, but maybe that's because I used those chalk pens. Maybe I should have tried chalk as well. I feel like this would work really well on a wall in a house, but I can't paint on my walls in this house. But overall, I still had loads of fun and I enjoyed experimenting with this. If you guys want to see me use this on something else, let me know. But if you have any suggestions for other things I should experiment with, like the blackest paint or the whitest paint, I would love to try those too. So let me know down in the comments below if you have any suggestions. But if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe because it really helps me out and we're growing so much at the moment, so thank you so much. But anyway, that's pretty much it for today's video and I'll see you all next Friday at 5. Bye!